I want to start by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. And Shalom to the 130 Asherallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians. But before losing their true heritage, were known as the Israelites of the Holy Bible, which is confirmed by history, archaeology, customs, linguistics, and so on. Now, in today's lesson, I want to go ahead and get into one of the parables known as the Pharisee and the Publican. This is recorded in Luke 18:10. Two men went up into the temple to pray, the one a Pharisee and the other a publican. A publican was well, let me actually just go through this real quick. The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself: God, I thank thee that I am not as other men are, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even as this publican. I fast twice a week, I give tithes of all that I possess. And the publican, standing afar off, would not lift up so much as his eyes unto heaven, but smote upon his breast, saying, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other. For every one that exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. Now, in this parable, the Lord is trying to convey an idea between a Pharisee and a publican. Now, a Pharisee is basically somebody who is like a teacher in the law, or somebody who is like you would consider a priest, right? Back in the time when Jerusalem was, when the Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians were in our power, or basically we had our nationality before we lost it. We had the people who were the descendants and basically came from the priest class, and were also the people who were just the heavy scholars in the scriptures. These were known as the Sadducees and the Pharisees. The Pharisees, in this case, are the ones who believe that Yahushua are the ones who believe in the resurrection. The Sadducees don't. They're kind of like the Old Testament Hebrews. And it says, and the publicans are kind of like politicians, right? People who work for the city, collect taxes, things like that, right? Basically, these people here were despised amongst the community because, nobody likes paying taxes or whatnot. Now, in this case here, Yahushua was trying to show how this Pharisee, even though he was giving grace, or he was giving thanks, he did it in a underhanded way, right? To basically exalt himself, right? Even though he was giving thanks to the Lord, he was basically kind of like showing off what he does. Kind of basically high-minded, had that pride demon on him. Whereas this publican, he would hit his chest, right? You would see, like, there's these videos or movies where it shows people chastening themselves, giving themselves like whips and things like that. That's what this man was doing. He was smoting himself upon the breast because he was doing penitence for his sins, right? Because even himself, he considered himself a sinner, and he wouldn't even look up. That's how much of a penitent, repentant soul this man had, right? Because he had humbled himself, and just like the Lord gives you a plain understanding here, saying, for every one who exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. So this right here, people, is what you need to take away from this parable. You need to learn to drop what this world has taught you, right? This you know, I'm number one. You know, you can't do no wrong, or you know, basically that proud spirit that people get here in Babylon. You got to drop that shit, man. You got to be humble in this. If you're in this truth, then you gotta wait your turn. You know, be respectful. In another word, right? That word contrite, it tells you here, right? What does it say? Well, actually, and one thing I wanted to read, because is a scripture that brings up this word, a contrite spirit, right? This right here just kind of backs it up. This is Isaiah 66:2. For all those things hath mine hand made, and all those things have been, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But to this man I will look, even to him that is poor and of a contrite spirit, and trembleth at my word. See, so this right even shows you that that you know, besides the Messiah Yahushai giving you instruction, telling you, this is where Yahushai himself, the Lord, I'm sorry, Yahweh, the Most High, the Father, He himself here is telling you that He looks towards men who humble himself, right? Because when you look up that word contrite, like I was just showing you right now, it tells here a feeling or expressing remorse, a penitence, affected by guilt, right? And that ultimately is what you is what you feel when you come into this truth, right? You can't be like these people here, right? These IUIC is a perfect example. Like, they are literally the Sadducees and the Pharisees come back or reincarnated. Everybody you're seeing here, these guys are literally them in the reincarnation. Proud ass devils, right? So proud that they're leading their flock to destruction, right? Some people, and they're doing it as a game, right? Here dressed in freaking gold, right? Look at these people, man. They're gonna destroy many people. These people here, these are the Sadducees and the Pharisees. Come back, you know. I don't know how plain it can be, how much more plain it can be. You know, all these people here from IUIC, the leadership, they're not about the word. They're not about humbling themselves, right? These people here are exalting themselves, and they're going to eventually be abased. I mean, that's was confirmed in the brother Natasak's dream. There's a video of a brother in the GMS LA camp who had a dream or a vision and stuff, where he actually seen where IUIC, they did get pulled up into the chariots, and of course they were celebrating and gloating, claiming that they knew they were right, whatever. But basically they got their ass taken to a timeout room to be destroyed and shit, right? Because their spirit is totally off, right? It doesn't vibe with what the Bible says. You know, they're out here teaching lies, talking crap about the true rulership of Yasharallah, which starts at the top of Great Millstone with the apostles, right? The Lord isn't dealing with multiple people. He's dealing with one person, or he's dealing with one group of people, the 12 apostles, which are all, for the most part, in GMS, right? Starting with Apostle Tahar on down, right? It's very plain to see, right? These guys here are sellouts. This guy here is a freaking detective. He works for the government, people. I don't give a fuck if you guys think this guy has been reformed or whatever. These guys here for the most part, they're selling their own people out, and they're doing it for filthy lucre, right? All this money that they get, all the people who have come out, who have ratted on or revealed all the crazy shit that IUIC does, and to get money, right? From taking your social security number to finding out how much you're making, all that crazy shit. This is Isaiah 29:19. The meek also shall increase their joy in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. Right? The meek and the poor. The IUIC are neither, right? And eventually, let this be a lesson to you, Akim, out there. When you're learning this truth, even if you know you got it, even if you know you're a bad motherfucker, nobody can fuck with you when it comes to scriptures, you gotta humble your spirit, because nobody likes to show off, right? You could be out there, and actually I gotta work on this myself, right? The Lord has put it on my spirit to work on this, because I know I've lost a lot of fruit just by simply coming off in this arrogant spirit, right? Which I don't mean to come off as arrogant, you know, but I gotta do better. And if you're listening to this, you should do better, and don't be like IUIC or these other Israelite camps, these false Israelite camps who push that pride, stance. The whole this world's gonna be under our subjections, kiss our boots, all that shit. What the hell, man? You're gonna have people kiss your boots on Saturday, but you're going to work for fucking Esau on Monday. You know? You should be out here edifying and having conversations with people, not arguing with people. That's the truth, you know. You gotta have that humble spirit and be like the publican in the temple that Yahweh Shai had used in his parable. You know, because the humbleness is going to be what saves you, right? And besides, who knows? You can learn a lot more being humble than being proudful, right? There's been a lot of times where I could have said something, but I decided not to, and then just keeping my mouth shut, I've learned things, and I've even would realize I saved my ass from not saying anything, right? And that's all by being humble and waiting your turn, you know? Like Apostle Gabar just said, you know, there's a reason why the Lord gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, because we're supposed to listen twice as much as we speak. And that right there just shows that you have a humble and contrite spirit, right? So you're not in this truth, or at least you shouldn't be in this truth to try to make a name for yourself. You should be in this truth to push the truth of the Bible, plain and simple. If you're in this to try to get fancy garments, get money, make this your hustle, you're doing this for the wrong reasons. And yeah, you may succeed, but this is going to be your consolation. You're not going to get the kingdom and stuff, not in the way as the elect will. So hopefully this video was edifying, Akim. Until the next time, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Kodash. Double honors to my teachers, the Apostle Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the elect. Shalom.